The reinforced door hissed shut behind Ryan, sealing him inside the containment cell. Through the transparent barrier, he could see Commander Vax's satisfied smirk. The Krellian officer had finally found a way to break the human's defiant spirit. "Enjoy your stay with our little pet," Vax's voice crackled through the intercom. "Perhaps she'll teach you the cost of insubordination." Ryan pressed his palm against the cold metal wall, steadying himself as his eyes adjusted to the dim lighting. The cell was larger than he expected, maybe 20 meters across, with sparse furnishings scattered across the floor. In the far corner, partially hidden in shadow, something moved. She emerged slowly, cautiously. Maya, that's what the other prisoners had called her. The feral alien girl who'd been captured from a dead colony world 3 cycles ago. Her silver hair fell in wild tangles past her shoulders, and her pale blue skin seemed to shimmer in the low light. But it was her eyes that caught him, violet and luminous, filled with an intelligence that contradicted everything the guards said about her. They claimed she was savage, dangerous, that she'd killed 2 Krellian soldiers who'd gotten too close. Ryan had heard different stories from the human prisoners, stories that made his blood boil. Maya crouched low, studying him with those remarkable eyes. Her fingers flexed, revealing retractable claws that could probably shred through his uniform in seconds. The Krellians had thrown him in here expecting violence, expecting her to tear him apart. But Ryan saw something else. He saw the way she held herself near the food dispenser, protecting it. He saw the old bruises on her arms, the way she flinched when the intercom crackled. He saw a survivor. "Hey," he said softly, lowering himself to sit cross-legged on the floor. "I'm Ryan, I'm not going to hurt you." Maya tilted her head, her expression unreadable. She made a sound, something between a hiss and a chirp, and retreated slightly. Ryan had spent the last 6 months in this God's-forsaken prison ship, watching the Krellians abuse every non-Krellian species they captured. He'd refused to assist in their genetic experiments, refused to help them weaponize human resilience. That's why he was here. "I know you can understand me," Ryan continued, keeping his voice steady. "The others told me. They said you used to speak before. Before they hurt you." Something flickered across Maya's face, pain, memory, anger. She moved closer, just a step, her nostrils flaring as she scented him. The hours crawled by. Ryan didn't move from his spot, didn't make any sudden gestures. He talked occasionally. About Earth, about the stars, about anything but their current predicament. Maya circled him periodically, always maintaining distance, always watching. When the food dispenser activated, dropping 2 portions onto the floor, Maya lunged for both immediately. Ryan remained still, his stomach growling but his resolve firm. She needed it more. Maya paused, clutching both food packets to her chest. She looked at him, then at the food, then back at him. Slowly, deliberately, she slid 1 packet across the floor toward him. "Thank you," Ryan said, his throat tight. Over the next 2 days, something remarkable happened. Maya began to trust him. She started sitting closer, eventually near enough that Ryan could see the scars hidden beneath her hair. Surgical marks. The Krellians had experimented on her, just like they'd wanted to experiment on him. On the 3rd day, Maya spoke. "Ryan, human." Her voice was raspy from disuse, but unmistakably clear. "Yes," he breathed. "Yes, I'm human." "And you're... what's your species called?" "Lyran," she whispered. "Home. Gone. Krellians. Destroyed." The pieces fell into place. The dead colony world. The sole survivor. They hadn't rescued her, they'd kept her as a specimen. "I'm sorry," Ryan said, and meant it with every fiber of his being. Maya's eyes filled with something that looked like tears, though they shimmered with an iridescent quality. "Thought all warmbloods, cruel, like them." "No," Ryan said firmly. "Not all of us. Never all of us." She moved closer still, close enough to touch. Her clawed hand reached out tentatively, and Ryan held perfectly still as she pressed her palm against his chest, feeling his heartbeat. "Strong," she murmured. "Human strong. Different strong. We're stubborn," Ryan smiled sadly. "We don't give up easily. And we remember our friends." The intercom crackled to life. Commander Vax sounded disappointed. "How unexpected, the human still lives, no matter. We've extracted sufficient data from your interaction. Both of you will be processed for full experimentation tomorrow." Maya's hand tightened on Ryan's uniform, her claws extending slightly. But Ryan covered her hand with his own, his jaw set with determination. "They're going to regret this," he said quietly. Maya looked at him questioningly. "They locked us together thinking we'd destroy each other," Ryan explained, his mind already working through possibilities. "They underestimated two things. First, that you're not the monster they made you out to be. Second, that humans are really, really good at two things: making friends and making trouble." For the first time since he'd entered the cell, Maya smiled. It was small, tentative, but genuine. Over the next several hours, they planned. Maya knew the ship's ventilation systems. She'd learned them during her captivity. Ryan knew the guard rotations and security protocols. Together, they had a chance. When the cell door opened the next morning, the guards found it empty. The ventilation grate lay open, and two very different, very determined survivors were already 3 decks away, heading for the communication array. Commander Vax had tried to break them both with isolation and fear. Instead, he'd given humanity its newest ally, and given them both something worth fighting for.